All right, it's important that you try to do this one without Desmos because since I'm not going to be here on Friday, you are going to be taking your quiz without Desmos. You're going to be taking it with a regular calculator. So let's go ahead and graph these by hand. So remember, it's y equals mx plus b is your standard form. B is your y-intercept. That is where you want to start. B is for begin. So let's see, in our first equation, our y-intercept is a -3. So what we're going to do is we're going to look down the y-axis for where that crosses, and -3, which would be right here. And then we're going to use the slope, how we move to get to the next point. So if you want, you could change this into a -6/1 so that it's rise -6, run 1. So since it's negative, we're actually not going to rise. We're going to fall 6. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then to the right 1 to get my new point. And we can go ahead and connect those as best you can. It would help if you had like a straight edge. And then let's try the other one. Now here, notice how this is not in slope-intercept form. So what we can do to change it so that it's y equals is we can add 2 to both sides so that now we would get the y by itself. So now y equals -x plus 2. So our b value, our y-intercept would be the 2, +2. And then our slope is what's in front of x. Now we just have a negative in front of x, but what we can do is we can add a 1/1 so that it's rise or fall -1, and then run 1. So let's see, y equals, y-intercept is 2, which would be at this point. And then we're going to go down 1 into the right 1, down 1 into the right 1. That would be your other point. So now we can go ahead and draw on those lines. Now, if you don't use a straight edge, it might be really hard to see where these two intersect because my lines are not very straight. But what I like to do is maybe use my slope in the same direction where my two lines might intersect. So I'm going to keep going up 1 into the right 1 so that my slope is negative. And then let's go ahead and try that with the purple one too. So my slope was a -6/1. So if I follow that pattern of, go up from this point, go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the left 1. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the left 1, and you'll see that they intersect at that same point. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over 1. They're going to intercept at that point here. So if I draw my line a little bit better, when you either use slope a couple of times or even a straight edge might keep you from having to do slope again. So where the two lines intersect, that's going to be your solution. So where do these two intersect? You have to start at the origin first to count over. So we're going to go left 1, which is a -1, is your x value, and then up 1, 2, 3 would be your y value. Now, if we wanted to solve the system of equations algebraically, we can use substitution. We know that y equals this stuff right here. So what we can do is we can replace y in the second equation. So let's just rewrite that second equation, but instead substitute a -6x minus 3 for that y value. Minus 2 equals a -x. So now we can go ahead and combine our like terms here. So we've got a -6x minus 5 equals a -x. Let's get our x terms together by adding the 6x to both sides. So now we have a -5. Don't forget to bring that negative down. Equals 5x. Then we'll divide by 5. to find that x is equal to a -1, which is what we got when we graphed these. Once you find that y value, or excuse me, that x value, you're going to want to plug that in to find y. So y equals -6. Our x value we now know is a -1 minus 3. Let's go ahead and solve that. A +6 minus 3 would give y a value of 3, which is what we got down here too. So you can solve it algebraically or you can solve it by graphing.